Because the thing is, like, everyone wants to drink and do Molly. Don't fucking drink and do Molly.
You should put that as a clip. Please put that as a clip.
The fucking dream team.
And hey guys, welcome to the SNP podcast, where we bring you the entertainment, news, video games, and
Salami.
Let's introduce ourselves. My name's Kevin, and then we got Dave.
Hello.
And then we got Jose.
AKA Limp Brisket.
Yeah, Limp Brisket. So let's say one of the top three things that we're going to be talking about is recently we watched Longshot, and then we're going to be reviewing Detective Pikachu, and we're also going to be talking about Big Daddy Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, trying to go to space. Oh, is he really?
He left his wife for somebody else. I'm very connected to the story.
Wow. Okay, well, we will bring that up when we go to that subject. So
does he call himself Big Daddy on his Instagram?
No, that's just me.
Oh, I was like, thank God.
No, because that's what I've seen with you. You said, you call him Papa Bazos. So.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start off with Detective Pikachu. Last week we weren't able to, due to technical errors, we weren't able to get this show out. But so let's see what's your guys
came together. I mean, everyone's here seeing it, and this is the first time everyone's hearing about it. So,
yeah.
What do you think, David?
Oh, there's like so much that there's so much backstory to it. It's because we have to talk about Longshot in order for me to tell you how I feel. But okay, yeah, I freaking love that movie, man.
I think it's a good movie.
Detective Pikachu is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, because
I did. No,
you did?
I think it's really amazing. The thing is, like, if we're kind of relaying this to like that other kind of film thing I put it at, where it's like, if I really believe in a 1 out of 5 scale system, I put it at 4, guaranteed, a strong 4.
4 out of 5, you're saying?
Yeah, 4 out of 5. So the thing is, like, there's just like so many generic things with the movie where you're like, oh, this is like a very traditional.
You told me
plotline.
to see Longshot instead of Detective Pikachu.
And you would have
feel if I were to tell the
Switch 'em
people, I would tell them to watch Detective Pikachu, and then if you have more time, watch Longshot.
And we could talk about that at the end of the
But yeah,
show.
no, it was bad ass. Especially if I didn't even realize how much of a Pokemon fan I was until I was watching
until you started seeing all the Pokemon just out and about.
And I was like, oh, there's some. And then I feel like I wanted more Charmander. I really love Charmander, man.
I think the only thing he does in that movie is is he blow torches that little pan, and when you see him in the streets,
yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in the
he
back.
goes like,
yeah,
and then he's just like they're blow torching, and I was like, dude, you're telling me the little fucking lizard dragon thing is like being used for cooking? This is bullshit.
Dude, he's learning how to get a perfect braise right now.
Yeah.
And then did you see
he
the
aspires to
Squirtles?
be a chef.
The Squirtles, like the firefighters. I wish they had the sunglasses, like the Squirtle skull.
Yeah.
Squirtle
I was
skull.
like, that would have been epic.
I like how they come out as like local heroes, and I'm like, why aren't they just being forced to be firefighters?
That's all they can do.
They have their own fucking freedom to choose from.
I just like when the squirrel just walked up to fire and was like,
It looks like he's throwing up. Yeah. You didn't see in the little news article where he's like, who was the main character's name? I forgot.
dude, I don't even remember.
But he's pointing out, he looks at the screen and it's covering like, daily news, and it's like, oh, local Squirtles, local heroes, or blah blah blah, and they're putting out fires. But I'm like, why aren't they just get forced to be firefighters? I feel like they
Plumbing and
the plumbing. It's just more. I
Firefighting, bro.
think they're just doing their.
Well, they can't be
And
forced
lifeguards.
because they're just citizens. So if they don't want to be firefighters, they won't be. So yeah, they gotta have their own. They pick their own jobs, man.
Yeah,
They're not enslaved, bro. They're free.
they're free.
They're free men.
What do you think about the whole Mewtwo?
Oh, I thought it was dope. I thought it was like, it was nice to see some Pokemon that's so legendary, because Mewtwo was like the most badass. Like, it's just like the concept of it, like our generation was ingrained in the lore of that.
Yeah.
So like when you see Mewtwo, it's like a genetic experiment. And in the beginning, it's like really misleading, because like we just think that it's maybe the beginning of like the Ash Ketchum story happening all over again.
We should probably put spoiler alerts, right?
But I mean, Ash Ketchum is like, that whole movie came out like years ago. But it's like you see him.
I would like to interject. I did like how they put in a little bit of continuity in it because when they were explaining, Mewtwo, blah, blah, blah.
Did he escape from the Kanto region?
Kanto region 20 years ago. And I was like,
oh,
same one.
where'd they go?
I know him.
I know him.
we all try to catch him.
We're friends from work.
We're friends from work.
I just think it was like, no, that was good. So that, I mean, no spoilers on that. There was like the continuity on that was like pretty nice, but like, it's like, it gives me a little bit of nostalgic factor.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it's like, dude, I really did not know what the fuck was going on.
In the beginning?
Yeah. I mean, like, it was just like, the plot line goes to a different direction and then it moves over. Within the first 10 minutes, you're in the town.
Dude, about him catching a Cubone and all that?
That was
dope.
So dope.
Yeah.
Oh my God. From the beginning, I was like, this is everything I ever wanted.
What do you think about the effects, CGI?
I thought it was really good. Like CGI nowadays is just phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And like everything I'm seeing, like
Detective Pikachu, how to do it. Sonic, not so much.
No, throwing shade.
I think that's just more of a design choice rather than the.
No, I think
CGI.
that's like a lack of like. Oh, well, actually, I thought that was like what they thought they could get away with us, like being like, I guess it's Sonic.
Yeah, no, it's a totally just a design choice. That's a design flaw.
Terrible.
Not so. I'm not gonna blame my boys in the CGI department, but.
They could have done better.
Nobody
designers,
thought like, hey, his eyes should be connected like how they always are. It's not even like they adapted from like a cartoon. It's like they already did it in CGI for the video games. I don't understand what.
Yeah.
You just have to take it from the video game and put it in the fucking movie.
True.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty simple. I thought for them to do that, it was like, dude, for real? Like, when will you learn that your actions have consequences?
But the funny thing is, the internet won in that fight because the internet was like, "This is bullshit," and then they're like, "All right, I guess we'll have to redo it."
Yeah. What is your guys' like top level then CGI where like the CGI was so ridiculous that it, like they were like, this is the height of civilization? Like it's
I feel like that's always been Avatar. It was like the first one to do it. Well, not the first one, but
that's like actually Avatar is actually very very synonymous with where I feel like CGI hits like top notch, because I thought they spent years upon years perfecting that, and it looks like a human hanging out in that real world that looks real.
Yeah.
Alita Battle Angel is the only thing afterwards, and those are the same developers.
Did you hear that they're trying to figure out a way to do Avatar, the next one's
The second and third one.
they're trying to do it like in 3D but without glasses. Like he's trying to like work on some technology to make it like 3D but without the whole
James Cameron.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Evil Canadian dictator James Cameron. Oh man, that's Future Man reference for anyone who doesn't know.
yeah,
No,
Sorry.
that's all right. Buddy.
which is a good show, by the way.
But so overall humor in the film, what do you guys think about? I thought it was like good. Even that part where I feel like there was a couple of ones that obviously went right over kids' heads, like that whole like, you're not gonna turn me into a lampshade, are you? Like
that I did. I thought that shit was really funny.
What about the time where he's like, oh my God, I just invited somebody up to my apartment. He's like, I never do this. I'm not that kind of Pokemon. Oh my God. I was cracking.
Yeah, but I mean, those are a little bit over like kids' heads. I know for sure. Me and him were cracking up. Here's the other one that made us crack up. That
Psyduck?
No. Oh, actually,
Psyduck was hilarious.
that part where he was like, does not anyone know that this guy's just a headache away from losing his crap on all of us?
Losing his shit. Dude.
I like how they made Psyduck. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead with Psyduck.
I like how they made Psyduck like. I hated Psyduck in the freaking cartoon.
Crappy
so
Pokemon.
annoying. He's just like Psyduck. And then they made him like freaking hilarious in the movie. He was really good. Yeah.
With the foot thing where he's like, dude, that was so
and then he's
funny.
in the car seat thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so good. I couldn't laugh. I couldn't stop laughing.
No, I mean, there's like
Ludicolo, that's the one, right?
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the one.
That interjection from that Pokemon at the bar where it was like, Ludicolo.
Yeah, when he was getting coffee, he's like, "Hey, can you give me another coffee?" And he's like, Ludicolo! He just loses his shit for a second.
Because when he says his name was just too intense. I mean, honestly, the movie's so seamless with the Pokemon that you see them like fulfilling like daily functions and stuff, and it's like they're walking down after the monkeys like attack them or whatever. I don't know. Apoms. I don't really know that generation.
I don't know that one either.
So
Yeah.
like they're coming down, right, and then they integrate into like real life, like walking down. People are cooking. Every single Pokemon you see has a function and it's living synonymously or like with all the humans. I thought that was really nice. Like it didn't take away for the film where I got too distracted away from the plot. But it did like it kind of like immerses you. I was it emulsifies you?
Emulsify.
I know that's like separates you. It immerses you in that world. Yeah, and I mean I never lost focus because I always knew what was going on, and I think that's why they use Ryan Reynolds' voice. Like I'm very drawn to that. It's a very good plot movie.
Even the Mr. Mime part where he's fucking torturing him, that was so funny, dude.
You know, he hits his head on the thing like.
You know when he's doing the gas thing?
Oh yeah, that's what it
he's
says.
like, are you pouring? What are you pouring on him? Water?
He takes it out and he lights it, and then the one is like.
Yeah, that was so funny, dude.
There was a lot of that humor. I feel like it was very. It went very well. Like I feel like I never lost points. Okay. So that other comedic moment that I really fucking. That was too good was when he starts saying lines in front of the girl and then detective's like, oh God, have you ever talked to him?
Oh, dude, I love that part.
Yeah,
So
it was really really good.
have you ever talked to a girl before?
Yeah, it was really. But I mean, do you guys want to talk spoilers on this and then do rating?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, spoiler alert now.
Spoiler alert now. Definitely that'd be the craziest thing that I kind of afterwards when you see the first person mold into their Pokemon.
Was that when the moment when you were like, wait a minute?
That's when it clicked for you? Bro, I imagined Ryan Reynolds being his dad like from the rip.
How?
The moment that I thought was weird was when they weren't showing his dad. He always had his back.
When
Like,
they
why
were
aren't they
showing
showing
his
the
dad's
dad?
face. I already predicted that it was
But I
Ryan
never
Reynolds.
thought, like, it didn't
Never
come
mind.
into my mind that it was Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, me, it
Not
did.
until I saw the forming thing. That's when I'm like,
from the get-go, I already thought that was going to be his dad.
Damn, that's pretty sharp.
Yeah, I
didn't. I
didn't
was
put
just
those
like-
two together. Yeah, I was kind of more to the person that I was like, oh, it's ominous. Like no one wants to see a dead man because I mean, some people brought their kids.
At first, no, I didn't get him. Like, at first, I was like, wait, why are his ears and hands white? And then I'm like, oh, I get it. He's like biracial. Oh, okay, this makes me okay.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, huh. And then I was just like, oh, okay, so is he gonna like maybe he's like one of the characters
Doing human math in your head, just
Yeah, it's like, maybe he's
white plus black does equal mulatto. Like,
Like maybe this is like a white character that's like here that I never like even I don't know. I didn't even.
it didn't hit it. It didn't hit me until the one girl who's like the reporter and her side eye go, and I was just like, that's what it is.
Yeah, I was just like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
I even turned around and I'm like, hey guys, I figured it out. And they're like, shut up.
And Kevin's like, I knew it since the beginning. I knew it.
They're like, no one needs to
is
see that.
nothing to
Only
me.
I want to know.
That was cool though, man.
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it. Did you feel the emotionality of the movie, or did you think that was
They try to tack on a lot of daddy issues and stuff like that.
Do you think that's what that was? I don't
Yeah,
really think
there was
that.
a lot of daddy issues.
Yeah?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
he
guess.
like hates him, and then he like doesn't talk to him since he was a kid. He never got on that train. Remember?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I feel like it's like it was a very classically written film that I have no gripes against. I feel like it was really well written. The CGI was great. That aspect of the film where it's like, you know, like you try to develop this character and kind of feel for him all the way through. It's like I've seen that plot line done before.
Yeah.
You know, no one's really nailing that plot line.
You're really nailing that plot line.
All right, whatever. Maybe I feel like I'm just I'm entitled to my own opinion.
I thought the what's his name, Justice Smith, dude, he's
Yeah.
a really good actor. That scene where he's like crying next to the,
has
I
he-
like felt them. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm getting like,
Oh, when he's crying, actually, that's the one part where he started doing it. I'm like, I turned around and I was like, is anyone seeing this?
Is
Like,
anybody
it's
else
like, you
seeing
see
this
how
shit?
fake this shit is?
Oh.
Okay, maybe
Listen,
it's
Pikachu's don't even exist.
if I would
You're like going hard.
if I would take anything from the whole like daddy issues that was like kind of a subject or what do they call underlying tone.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the word. Underlying tone. Pretty much is just like it's kind of poisonous to hold grudges.
True.
And like to not forgive somebody. You know?
No, yeah.
That's what I got from it. So that I kind of learned the lesson from there, and I applied it to my own life.
Like, sometimes you know what CGI, you know what makes me feel weird too.
This guy comes over still with the CGI.
No, it's like all I imagine is like is people there without those things and how they had to act that out. So like it's like Justice Smith like crying by himself with no one there, and there's no Pikachu. That's hard to do, right? But it's just like he's just like I just feel like this, and somebody reads him the line and they cut it out, and he's like, yeah, oh my god, I just hated that boy, but now I wish he was here. And I'm like, yo, dog, you talking straight truth right now. Like, I did. Sorry, maybe I bro it out in my brain. Like it's like bro it out.
Always broing it out.
I don't know. It's like, but that's how I felt, and I was like, but I mean, overall at the end when like, and we already said spoilers earlier, when Ryan Reynolds like pops out of that thing, I was like, oh yeah, no, it's like I noticed that from that, and I turned around, and he was just completely not amused.
Like, I've been
not amused with what?
With like that Ryan Reynolds, like you had called it from so far.
Oh yeah, like I was like, oh yeah, I knew
that's the only way he can listen to him because that's his dad.
Mm-hmm. That was cool. Man,
I liked that. I liked it. It was good. I feel like it was.
No, you want to know a funny moment when he's falling in Mewtwo? Remember, because he took off the thing off the dude or whatever, so he like collapses, and then like all of a sudden Pikachu stops, and I'm like, oh, did he put on the thing and he's now Mewtwo and he stopped him? And then like it shows it like, oh no, it's just Mewtwo. Oh, okay, my bad.
You know, another thing I thought in my brain too, because you know how you're guessing the end of the plot, and I'm like, listen, I just figured this shit out. And then this fucking 3-year-olds and it's like, I think that's Ash Ketchum. And you're like, shut up, you're not a fan like I'm a fan. Well, if we do Turbo Time, you want to be, but need to be part of the Turbo I thought Time. That he didn't do his powers, like he didn't shoot electricity, and I was like, oh, that's directly related to his voice powers. As soon as he gets his powers back and can actually form electricity, he'll lose his ability to speak. And then I thought that was like the little plot moving point. And then afterwards, they just completely fucking negated that shit. And I was like, I was stupid for thinking that.
I thought that it was going to be like, you know, because he's talking to Psyduck and he's talking about that he doesn't want his brain to explode and all that. I thought it was going to be like at the end, they're going to get like ambushed like they did. And that his brain blast was going to go off. And then that was going to like wake him up. And he's going to be like, oh shit, I remember now. All right, we're good.
Yeah.
And then, it didn't happen. And I was like, oh, damn it. But no, hold on real quick. I was going to say, what about all the throwbacks that they were doing to the show? Like when he's like, no, I got this. And he gets the Magikarp and he kicks him in the head, like the show, and they kick him and they turn it. That was hilarious.
Yeah, this is like, oh, dude, when they get the Magikarp and they're like, this is basically the most useless Pokemon in the world. Yeah, but it's true because Magikarps get treated like shit. They're treated as Pokemon. They can evolve into Gyarados, but get eaten all the time in the markets. Like you'll see sushi with like Magikarp heads everywhere, and I'm like, dude, this Pokemon's like no one eats any of the other Pokemon. Like no one kills like except Mataros, like the bull one. Like people eat that one all the time. They domesticate the shit out of them.
What the hell? I like how you're talking about this. Like it was
I know.
Miltank.
Fuck.
They use Miltank for their dairy.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. The thing with Pokemon is like I could see how some of them are clearly just animals we have in our world, but like, would you ever grab like a Raichu and kill it and eat it? No, but they do that to Magikarp all the time. You looked at your microphone.
Would fuck us up.
Who? Raichu.
Raichu would fuck us up,
and he's adorable.
Yeah. The other thing I hate is Pokemon that are 3 Pokemon. Like it's just 3 regular Pokemon,
like Dugtrio and Magnetite. No,
and
what's Magneton?
Magneton, and then it's Diglett because Diglett and
Dugtrio, isn't it? Dugtrio.
Yeah, is that the first one you said?
Dugtrio.
Penis is coming from the
Magneton.
Where it's like 3 of them joined together like this, and they're like, "Oh my god, my Pokemon evolved," and he's like, "Nah, just hanging out with my homies."
Yeah, seriously, that's so true. What about?
I just came with my homies. We just wanted to chill.
Tell the SNP squad to hang out over here. Like, oh, did you guys evolve? I'm like, nah, we just kind of we've been hanging out since.
He's like, oh, he devolved. No, they went back home.
They went back.
What about Execute? It was like a bunch of broken eggs. I couldn't. I never understood that.
It was a bunch of eggs.
It was like and then he turned into a pineapple tree. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Asian people are losing their minds.
Yeah.
You're right. That was actually.
And then didn't it turn into a dragon type in the next one? They like added an evolution. And he gets his long neck.
It's called like Aloha version.
Fuck is going on over there?
Yeah, I did.
Like no one gave a shit. It's like, dude,
I dig it. But
I talk about the same way I do about fucking Super Mario all the time because my dad is like, oh, like I really get this game for my small little child, and then I play this game, and then I grow up thinking that my form of entertainment is like a small Italian man that got stuck down a tube with his brother and land in a dinosaur world and eat mushrooms to get bigger, and they were like, wait, this game is crazy. And then we're like, yeah, my kid plays it all the time. Like, these Asian dudes are taking acid and making games.
Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Eating mushrooms on their own.
Right? Oh, and the mushrooms like, it's like, what? That little feather turns you into like a little red panda raccoon, and you're like, and you can
I
fly
love
for
that
some
game.
reason.
That was, that was the third one, right?
made no sense.
That made no sense. And then afterwards,
dope,
like,
though.
what's it
It was
called? You get a
dope as
little,
well.
you get a little like cape, and you're like, also like you're on top of a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex that can eat things and shit them out into eggs. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And then somehow, out of all the other dinosaurs in the world, Yoshi's the only one wearing boots.
Yeah.
Because he's also stylish.
Yeah, he's like, but he's the only dinosaur. Yeah, he's like, I'm getting with the times, man. That's it.
He's modern as fuck.
Yoshi's Island, number 2, one of the greatest games. Well, Yoshi's
Yoshi's
Island.
Island is the
I love
Yeah.
that game.
Yeah, it's Super Mario World 2, but it's Yoshi's Island, and then that game changed my life. Like I
Yeah.
played like shit out of that game.
Do you know the intro, the song?
Dude, I could play that. I would fall asleep with that shit on. Like playing, just like blacked out from like Cheetos and Humix. Like,
Going to do fucking.
so overall rated. Let's finish this one. Detective Pikachu, 4 out of 5 or 10 out of 10, whatever scale you guys want.
Oh shit, that's hard.
Why would you put me in this position?
Yeah. What are we
Let's do
doing?
10 out of 10. We've been doing that until I present the 1 out of 5 perfect.
Nobody
scale.
knows about that because that
I'm
episode never
making-
went up.
oh yeah, that's true. God damn it. All right, we'll
Where
have
you
a
changed your rating for the
event. Oh yeah,
Endgame?
Endgame. I pumped that back up to 9 out of 5 for sure because
That's weird. Didn't somebody say that you're gonna see it or you're gonna
See
get
it in
some
different
time
ways
and then
after
you're gonna
the-
give it a better rating?
maybe they'd come down to my level, but instead I
Did he say
came-
that or
I-
you said that?
No,
I said that.
did I say that? It's funny to
You said that
remember
I
when
was
you're-
gonna
grabs a
Right.
cat
You
out of
said
nowhere,
that my
starts
rating was
petting
gonna
it.
degrade over time, and I'm like, I think yours is gonna go up over time.
Mine went up. No, it didn't. You know, hey. Sorry, that was too funny. Picking up on that one. It tastes good.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I don't know. It's like it for me. It was like it went up, and that kind of like raised a lot of movies for me. But I mean, not relating it back to Endgame in the form of like a 9 out of 10 movie. If we're doing that for Detective Pikachu, I give it an 8 out of 10. Strong 8, like
Gotcha.
yeah.
Are we doing half points?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can if you want.
Yeah, for me it was like between 9 and 9.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good, really good. The only thing that I didn't like is that maybe spoiler on this, but the only thing I didn't like was like they closed the whole thing up, and I was like, oh, I
another
could
one.
see another 3 movies of this.
So they want to open that one up and just a small interjection on that. So this is like they're testing everything out, seeing
Yeah,
if
that's
it
what I
works and
heard.
testing it, and then they're gonna set up essentially what would be like a trilogy.
But I just hope like Ryan
Or their own
Reynolds-
Yeah,
universe.
then you can.
I could go with the talking Pikachu with Ryan Reynolds' voice like forever. That was so funny.
In
man.
the storyline, though, in the introduction of what the Pokemon world is, Detective Pikachu is like a game and like
Yeah.
one single one-off story from the universe that doesn't really make sense with it, which is why it's like a split-off story. Because Detective Pikachu is like kind of like there's no Detective Pikachu. Every other Pokemon is just a Pokemon. None of them put a hat on.
Right, but I
They
mean,
solve
also,
riddles.
I always felt like the show, like it was always about Pokemon. You
Yeah.
know? Like you could take out the main characters and all that crap, like Ash Ketchum and all that. For me, at least, you could take them out.
Yeah.
and like it's still about the Pokemon. It's still
Yeah,
cool.
it's still about a fucking bunch of animals fighting each other for.
So him like having a talking Pikachu is like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, because it's all about Pokemon. So
still
if
not.
you take that out, hopefully, you know, if they do future movies, they can somehow keep it still revolved mainly about Pokemon and not just actors like and then like have like 2 seconds where it's just like Pika Pika and
Yeah.
then it's like back to dialogue. It's
I
like-
mean, there's going to be a lot of comedic interjection that they're going to need from actual humans in that. So, like, where here was a Pokemon, Ryan Reynolds doing that, like, you could lose a lot of the charm in that. And I do agree with you. Like, if it's just like humans and sidelining the Pokemon, which should be the main focus. Like, but I mean, strong 9.5, strong 9 then. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
I'd
like
give it a strong 9.
I do like, yeah, I do like an 8. If we're doing half points, 8.5. I don't know why I'm going like lower on average than a lot of things, but I don't know why some things captivate me.
Better than all of us.
Yeah, what is
I don't really know.
interesting?
Mm-hmm.
This makes my interest peak even more for the long shot. I want to see what you give that one.
Oh yeah,
You said some choice things in the text. I don't know if you're gonna back them up here.
I'll back 'em up.
I don't know if you'll repeat them here as well.
I'll repeat them. I'll do what I did on fucking in text. I'll do it. All right, move on.
Okay, so moving on. After Detective Pikachu, you guys saw the long shot, or is it long shot?
This is called Longshot.
Just long shot.
Yeah.
Okay, well I haven't seen it yet, so I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it.
Okay.
Gotcha. So by category, as romantic comedies go, it's a 10 out of 10. I give it the ultimate rating for
Better than the rating that you gave Endgame?
it's a different category of movie. It's not trying to do what Endgame's doing, which is I feel like everyone needs to get on their own level when it comes to like genre. Genre lives in the same genre, and even subgenre things still have to abide by the other subgenre films. So it's like, as romantic comedies go, from a movie that gets me a completely different plot line that I'm not used to, a different storyline, right? Comedic effect, like basically be laughing. And I feel like anybody who tells me they didn't laugh at a shitload of those jokes, like is lying. Like, it was very well written for Seth Rogen as a person and his character, well written. And then not like a lot of like grease and fat where I was never really fell out of it. It brought to me a different character that I think is going to be able to get used like later and later on, like Ice Cube's kid. And I know I like he's gonna become like next time. I mean, after I watch Godzilla.
Yeah, I saw Godzilla trailer. I was like,
Yeah, that's it.
fucking-
I'm gonna know his name and I will respect you, and I still respect you right now. But I'm saying, like, for right now, you're Ice Cube's kid to me.
Ice Cube Jr.
Ice Cube Jr. and him as like a side like best friend
He's
character.
gonna watch this and he's like, "Man, this dude's not getting me."
Anyways, but
So
he's
that's
like,
why I'm glad you had that.
Yo,
that
what's this?
disclaimer.
Prove me wrong, Junior. Prove me wrong.
It is true. Like, I'm just saying, like,
glad you
until
had that
that is like, it has to be like, he gets brought on, he's super fucking funny, like, it fucking cracks me up, and then it wraps up and that's it. That feels like a good movie to me. So like, it feels like an amazing movie.
Okay. What were your what romantic
Kinda
comedies have you seen that you would say are amazing?
Romantic comedies to see. Well, there's in the genre of romantic comedies versus like comedy films, like leading it off, like there were a lot of people that wrote up like Knocked Up, right? That's considered a romantic comedy.
That's a romantic comedy?
Oh yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's two people fall in love with comedic interjections.
Okay.
I think that's the base structure of like a romantic comedy. Is the
You're
story?
getting all nerd on me, bro.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Are we like in a class right now?
It's
Are
a-
you fucking having a PowerPoint presentation
If
on
the-
that?
And that's why
If you
David.
look at the studies and the interjections,
if
you have a
the-
female lead.
if
they, in fact,
I don't
make a
curve my
joke,
lips like that.
if they, in fact, make a joke while having romantic interest, it is a rom-com.
Why
Thank
are you deconstructing my character right now?
It's like
going.
And it's like when as those movies go, like, I feel like it was like perfect. Like, it really made a good course throughout the whole film, where I felt like it was about two people falling in love, and everyone else was like on the outer rim of that story.
Okay.
No,
I have no idea what he's going on right now.
no.
I mean, it's-
and after you watch the film, though, I feel
You're hyping it way too much.
I feel like it's
I
not.
feel like you hyped it way too much because I saw it and I was like, oh, cool. All right. And then they're like done, and I'm like,
I haven't watched it, so I can't. I have to stay unbiased here.
yeah.
So I have no idea what's going
so.
on.
My hype on that
I
just
feel
comes
like you
from
hyped it too much for me, man.
Really? I
Yeah,
feel like-
because I saw it and it was good. It was funny. It was good. Great. Amazing. I would not use these words.
Oh,
Great. Yes. 10 out of 10. I would not say that.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, 10 out of 10 for me in rom-com, Crazy Stupid Love. That was a fucking 10 out of 10.
But that's a 10 out of 10 for me too.
All right. Well, at least you're not totally fucking. But
the scene where like
everybody comes together.
everyone
I don't
comes
even know who
together,
you are.
and then like, boom,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like, dude, that's
All right. I respect you on that one.
Okay, so like, there's like that.
But It was good. I think, you know what? I feel like maybe you hyped it up too much because you're like, don't even watch Detective Pikachu. If you're gonna see
If
one
I were
movie,
gonna choose one
go
or the
see
other,
Longshot. And then I was like, okay, damn. And I was just like, man, I don't know. He's never said anything like that before. And then I saw it was good.
Yeah, maybe you're right. He probably lowered his score because you hyped him up.
Because I feel like you were like iffy when you saw it, right? Like your expectations weren't like super high, were they?
The thing is like also
They're
like,
getting good ratings too.
another thing I like to throw out there is that like there are 3 different sites I use for like whether to determine like no that's 7. I really have. There's a lot of really amateurs out there that have opinion I really respect. I like as film critics like go. I kind of really like start looking at these scores 2 weeks before the movies come out, because like going to see a movie, and he can tell you I have a movie picked out almost every week for the rest of like the year, because like I nail them down,
many movies.
and it really takes like a movie to like really.
Why don't I get invited to any of these, bro?
Dude, I tell him
you
to
guys
invite you.
invited me to Detective Pikachu, and then you totally saw it without me.
I saw this
whole last episode is what I was mad about. You didn't see it, but I was so mad about that. I'm actually kind of glad that it didn't go on air because it was I was being pretty
facetious.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what these words are, bro.
I don't think facetious is the right word for that.
I don't know.
Maybe take them as disrespect.
Yeah, I'll take this. I probably did use that word wrong.
Yeah.
But it sounded really cool in my brain. So
condensation.
My anxiety's rising, and I really hope that somebody doesn't watch this episode and just be like, he used facetious wrong. He's a goddamn
Maybe
idiot.
we'll actually get a comment on it.
Oh my
just
God.
imagine the one comment that we
Not
get is
just-
like, that's not how you use
It's gonna be me. I would like
Bring it
commenting.
on. I would love that. And then we just argue in the comment, and then it spreads onto Twitter, and then it goes viral.
It's Jose. He's like,
One punch from every side for forever comments on this video.
I just get my ass rocked the next episode.
Okay, so like relaying it back to this film, and like it's crazy you bring that up. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. I love that film.
I love that.
Yeah. All right,
Fucking love you, bro.
I love you too, dude.
Except this movie, I don't like. This
Nah.
no, it was good. I liked it.
That's the thing is like, all right, so if you just relay this into 8 out of 10, what would you get? Or a 10 out of 10, what would you give it? 8?
Probably like 8.5. What
Really?
you gave it?
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Well,
It was good. It was good. I feel like I'm shitting on it. I'm not shitting on it.
all right. So
You're giving it like, wow.
well, it's like I was really driven by it. I vibe with like a bunch of the things. I think maybe this, and also like it's all opinion at the end. So like,
Yeah, maybe.
That's
what's-
all subjective.
what takes
rating
it
at
from
that
9 to 10 for a lot of people are
Maybe
things
you
that
just saw
they've
it-
lived through,
Maybe,
right?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe you just saw it like at the perfect moment in your life where you're like kind of like, you know. Like
I feel like
I
I'm like there's a lot of the things with Seth Rogen that kind of like really vibe with me, which is like he's just like this older
love Seth
dude
Rogen, yeah.
that like he's like that scene where he goes through so this won't be that.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
he goes through he's gonna go through
Dude, I don't give a fuck about spoilers.
He's gonna go through
That was pretty
the
funny.
security, right? And then he basically looks at the security guard dude and he's like, but you work at the White House, but you're not like a cop, right? So he's like, no. So he's like, so you're not gonna like tell anyone, right? And he's like, no. Or he just like stares at him and then he's like, all right, cool. So he takes off his belt and he throws it down and he throws his wallet and then he throws down like an eighth of weed and he's like, oh, I have a prescription for that.
Yeah,
and then he's like, all right. And then he throws down like a couple ecstasy pills and he's like, that's just to like bring me up when that's just bringing me too down. And then he throws some Adderall.
which I also have a prescription
Which
for.
I also have a prescription for. And then he throws some, well, it's like first is Adderall, sorry. And then he goes into like, he throws some Molly pills down. And then he's like, that's just to tone me down if everything's going this way. And then he throws like a fucking, just like a gram of Coke down. And then like, he's like, that's just to bring me, he has all these perfect interluding things to bring you up and down.
And then
in
he
the
throws
conversation.
marijuana. He's like, that's already legal.
That's already legal.
He's like,
But he just throws like a
and then at
bunch
the
of
end, he's like, that's a blunt.
and that's a blunt. Dude, I mean, it's dope as fuck. I feel like those character like that those parts are written for Seth Rogen, right? It's like that character's written, and we're thinking of casting Seth Rogen on there. There's some other guys that you can say in Hollywood could play that part. But I mean, Seth Rogen is definitely somebody that seeing him and where he is, and like in the beginning of the film, he's with the guy from The Interview, who's his boss for the newspaper or whatever he's working for. Like,
okay.
yeah, and it's the guy from The Interview,
I can't remember. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But he's
haven't watched
the
that movie.
dad from Fresh Off the Boat.
Oh yeah, it's the dude
okay,
from
okay.
yeah. I
So
remember
that's that guy,
Yeah.
and then he's like essentially he's quitting because they just got bought out. And there's this part like just in the beginning of that where the guy's like, "All right, fuck this place, I'm out of here." And then the guy's like, "All right, well at least let me fire you so you can severance." And he's like, "No, fuck that, I'm not even gonna take that fucking severance." And he's like, "Come on, man, the guy that bought us out won't even hear about this firing. You're gonna be fucking fine." And he's like, "No, fuck that, I'm standing up for what I believe in, and if I fucking do it right now, it's because it really fucking matters." And he's like, "You're being ridiculous right now." And then he's like, "Dude, there's like, just so you know, let everyone know that I quit and I didn't take the severance." And he's like, "Come on, man, you're making really bad life decisions, and it's really bumming me out."
That was funny.
And it was like, so those moments like that, I swear to God, I didn't go more than 5 minutes without cracking up. Like, I feel like it was really well written. I feel like you should go watch
I
it.
would probably laugh
And
my ass
maybe
off.
in a next segment, if you come back with like a review, maybe you can fucking calm the palate here, because I feel like it was just Ice Cube's kid. And
Yeah,
then
it was
him
funny.
dissing in them there, and then just saying like, "Oh, blah blah blah." Like, I'm not gonna tell too much because he's gonna watch it and he's gonna know. He's
that's true.
he's like really successful, like, and he's got his own office.
Oh yeah, that's
and then
it's funny because like all that humor reminded me of your humor. I'm like, dude, that's like some shit Jose would say.
where he's
Maybe
like,
that's why you like it.
everyone cheers up, and then he calls and is like, there's this one guy that he's like, "No, not you." Like, I'm just telling you, watch the film, Kevin. Come back, calm the palate.
Yeah, Doug, because you're taking away like the best bits of the freaking movie.
So I don't, and I just don't want to, but dude, but now that you were saying it out loud, you gotta realize there's really great.
like I said, there were some really funny parts in there. There's some parts where I was just like laughing hard. Yeah, it was funny.
And that made me laugh harder than Detective Pikachu. That's just the truth. That's just
Would
the
you
truth.
watch that movie again?
Yeah, maybe.
Would I watch Would I watch Detective Pikachu again?
No,
Longshot?
Longshot.
Yeah, I'll do it.
you should watch it again with me. Dude, you know how.
And
Dude,
then just
I
be like
can't-
halfway through, just be like,
Well, no, just because like,
That's fine.
dude, I suck at trying to watch movies. You know,
dude, okay. So another reason bringing it back is like I really have like a movie in my eyesight every week. Because even if it's really, really bad, I love shitting on really, really bad movies. And it's like my favorite thing to do. And sometimes I'll take him, I'm like, all right, here's the rating scale, blah, 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 blah. And he'll just be like, dude, it's whatever. And I'm like, all right, we're getting in here. And we sit down almost in the same spot every time in this Classic Cinemas that's over here. Shout out Classic Cinemas, a film.
let's go.
The seats there are super dope. And it's like the first movie theater I ever saw a movie in. So,
What ever?
Classic Cinemas over here. Ogden 6 was the first movie I saw in that same theater was Lion King.
Get the how do you
Seriously?
even remember that?
I remember
Christ, dude, this is how you know he's a film aficionado.
I remember
Jesus Christ.
grabbing popcorn and then eating it, right? And I was just shoving it into my face, and my dad's like, "No, you just grab like 3 and then you go like this. That way we can all have some." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, Dad." And then I remember
stopped you
and then
from
my mom
shoveling food
just
in your
shoveling
mouth like
food
a
in my face, and I
goddamn
remember
monster.
like laughing, like slapping my knee like Dave Chappelle says, and be like, "Ah, great, Dad, that was funny." And then he'd just look at him, and then my dad was like. And then, but I don't know. And then at the when everything went down at the end of the series, where like the fucking or it's like
When it got sad?
when it got super sad, right? I remember I teared up, and I remember like I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to cry. I'm not gonna cry because I had remembered my dad had always told me like don't cry, like be a man or be like a little man. But then
Dude, it's that machismo shit.
and then I looked over at
problems.
and then I looked over at my dad, and then you know what my dad was doing? He went like. Right, and then 3 years later, my dad's like, "Oh yeah, no, I just fake cried, so like you would know that like it's okay to cry sometimes."
No
right?
way, really?
And my dad and me had that moment because and that's like when I knew my dad was like the greatest dad ever. Because most dads would be like, "Ugh." But like my dad was like, he looked over at me, he was like. And I was like, and I turned around, I'm like, right, it's sad, Dad. And he was like, yeah. Like, and I was like, my dad, dude, that was the most, dude, why are you fucking roasting at me like this? This is bullshit, all right? I fucking open up to you and you fucking rail me like this. Dude. I feel like I'm in the middle of a fucking train track right now getting railed.
No, listen, that's really heartfelt, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just out of control right now.
No, wait, but so then you gotta see the new one with your dad, right? Like
I was thinking of taking my mom and my dad, yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. And Seth Rogen's in that. Boom. Hit me up again.
Oh,
Catch
that's
me
crazy.
outside. Whatever.
I can't believe you remember the first movie. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't remember the first movie.
What the hell? Do you like never go to the movies when you were a kid?
No, which is why as an adult, like I go to the movies all the time. Like it's like one
It's
of
like
my things. Yeah, like I have to go every week because
You know the
I
way
feel like I'm missing out. Like it's like, and like the thing is like,
Seriously, you've gone like every week?
I go to the movies almost every week.
The hell?
I just even if I don't go to the movies every week, I'll watch 2 films by myself. He's come in and seen me watching movies by myself. Like I just appreciate the art form.
He's like,
I appreciate the art form from beginning to end. That's why, like with you, a film that I would like to watch with you for sure is that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood film, because me and you would like really vibe, because the Quentin Tarantino's like story writing structure is like so amazing.
Did you see Hateful Eight?
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it.
No,
I didn't like that one. It didn't land with
that
me.
was I would say that the only reason I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 is because I'm a Quentin Tarantino fan. But
You're giving it an 8.
But
Very
it's like,
hatefully.
but it was like very hatefully. It should be a 7. I think it was a little weird. It didn't.
that.
It was like I could kind of see where it was going the whole time, and it's not. That's very anti Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, it was weird. I was just like, yeah, drew me off.
All right, moving on.
Whatever.
Next thing we're gonna be talking about. Talking about my man Jeff Bezos, Papa Bezos of Amazon. Last Thursday,
He got
he
divorced.
was no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's announcing that he's gonna be, just like Elon Musk, building to go to space. And here's my thoughts. Well, not only thoughts on him. Well, I want to hear your guys' opinions, but I just think basically whoever gets to space and learns to mine all the resources out there,
Oh shit.
they will be the first trillionaire.
There's already a trillionaire, isn't there? No, there isn't.
No, there is no. We got billionaires, but we'll be the first trillionaire. Just think about that.
Whoever gets unobtainium first.
Yeah.
Hey, can you tell him to stop making those comments over there?
Tell them to quit with that shit.
That shit is making me laugh from all the way over there.
Yeah. But what do you guys think about Jeff Bezos?
Entering the space
Amazon.
race?
Yeah. Because Amazon is fucking super rich. They got distribution. They got lots of entertainment.
They got stock valued at $1,632.52.
Damn, how do you even? What's up with your? Are you like autistic and shit? When we drop toothpicks, can you like? Do you know how many there are on the
Rain
floor?
Man.
Like, you need
It's a
them?
Rain Man.
It's a Rain Man
reference.
thing. I actually am not going to disclose who I
You're the
work
worst
for.
kind of autistic.
I was
That's Bob
guaranteed an
Burger's
Amazon
reference was
stock.
up. Go ahead.
I was guaranteed an Amazon stock this year, so
He knows.
I know how much it's worth because I'm looking at that shit go up.
Oh,
And I was debating whether keeping it or not, but keeping it is like,
Yeah, keep it. Duh.
I'm gonna catch that shit on and spend it stupid, baby.
You're making terrible life decisions.
And it's really bumming me out.
you can't quote that movie. You haven't seen it.
I know. I just forcing it down my throat.
You guys don't watch movies with me. Yeah, I feel like it's well, the same thing we talked about Tesla, right? It creates like a lot of competition in an area that I feel like needs it. Because NASA's
What do you mean? Why do they need competition for
Space travel?
Racing?
No.
Because when it's not driven by nationality, aka like the U.S. versus China versus Russia,
Yeah,
then
that's
you
why
have
it's
it
better going private.
when it's done by private institutions or businesses. The driving force behind it monetarily is going to propel it forward thousands of years.
Like these words you guys gave me.
I'm just saying, like, so
you're saying,
basically when it's like the US and Russia racing to see who can get to the moon first, it's
Yeah.
different when it's like a company versus a company deciding who's going to go out there to claim moon rock, to claim
Be the
rich, like
that will be the
when
big,
it's driven by
whoever
money
gets
like
to
that,
space
it's
will
gonna
be
get
the
faster.
biggest company ever.
Whoever builds the Death Star is gonna be the biggest motherfucker.
So says the Emperor Palpatine.
And let the space wars begin.
But yeah, but just think about it. Like Amazon is like the biggest thing.
The biggest
Like,
company
it's
or
huge.
conglomerate, essentially.
Yeah, it's a conglomerate because look, they have distribution, they have entertainment,
They got
Twitch.
delivery and Prime.
Yeah. No, but it's just like for the most part when if I talk to anybody and it's like, oh, Amazon Prime, is it worth it? Hell yes, it's worth it.
Amazon Prime is worth it because they can deliver anything to your house, and like somebody was like,
God, we should get sponsors.
Use promo code SNP for your next SNP
for your next daily detergent. I mean, they're gonna get you detergent, dryer sheets, like anything from like dish soap to like your standard utilities to your house within 2 days.
Condoms,
Yes.
Anything.
Magnum.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'll try it out.
But
Double Magnum.
and also like Amazon Prime just has free like movies or shows.
And that's Netflix, basically.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's got a lot of shit for what you get throughout the year. You just pay once a year. But yeah, let's stop giving them free advertisement. Let's but yeah, Amazon. It's the biggest company.
Like you just said, don't give them
free advertising, and they're
But
just
no,
like,
really,
we love
though,
all this advertising.
Amazon's the greatest in the world.
No, but
And it's super cheap and
and
affordable.
soon to be.
Yeah.
If I could prioritize it over white bread, I'd stop eating bread and just fucking get Amazon, because they can deliver the white bread when the money comes to me, you know.
How soon before we see an Amazon logo on the moon?
yeah, dude, that is what I'm saying is going to be crazy.
So right now, Tesla, right? Amazon now, Apple eventually. Apple doesn't really branch that much, right?
Yeah, they're kind of dying down, right?
Yeah,
Much
dude.
like their.
But the last thing we covered on the podcast from them was them trying to enter the electric car race, pretty much, and make an Apple car, right?
Because they do want to go. They want to explore more.
Avenues for
For income. They kind of have to, or else they would die as a company. Because if it was just the
much
iPhone,
like
I'm just like
Steve
these-
Jobs.
I like this. Which one's your favorite Steve Jobs? The Ashton Kutcher? Really?
No, wait, the other one's pretty good.
Who's
too.
the other guy again?
I forgot his name. He got an award though, didn't he?
Ashton Kutcher. And
nomination.
who else did him?
Fassbender. Michael Fassbender. Yes.
Oh yeah, okay. Fassbender. I always remember that because like it just reminds me of Stylebender now, because that's who's really dominating that name.
Or
But
Bender from Futurama.
oh yeah, no problem. Suck my shiny metal ass. All right, moving on.
All right, so moving on. Next, we're talking about decriminalization, Jose. That's what you put in for the
What's
subject.
happening in
What's
Colorado?
snapping in?
So it finally happened. There's a ton of things that came through, and there's like it goes on. The first time I ever heard about it was on the Joe Rogan podcast, because he was with Andrew Santino, and I love Andrew Santino. I love all my hair.
That was Bobby Lee, but
That was Bobby Lee,
he's
but
with them.
that was so classic. Colorado just did a full motion to decriminalize.
Cialis?
No,
No, that's
it is
psilocybin.
Viagra, I'm sorry.
psilocybin.
Psilocybin,
Psilocybin.
Yeah, so it's
aka magic mushroom.
AJ magic mushrooms, and I think this is so to anyone that's like really losing their shit about like, oh, we can just go to Denver now and fucking no, you can't. You just like it's the first step.
That's exactly what I said. But
So it's like the first state to decriminalize weed was, I'm pretty sure, California, between California and Colorado, right?
No, California and like Oregon or
And then it was Colorado was
Portland. Yeah, so Oregon.
like Colorado. So there's 2 states before Colorado?
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was Colorado, then one of those 2.
No.
yeah, I thought California was barely in the last election.
Yeah, no. So it's not California.
Oh, no, wait, that was recreational.
It's. I think it was.
Full recreational.
I think it was Oregon was legal first before Colorado.
Or decriminalized.
All right. Anyways,
So
good.
the big point here is, can you carry a bunch of mushrooms in your pocket and not go straight to jail when you get caught?
Well, I think they decriminalize it, so it means as long as you don't have.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's the big point. Like before, you used to be able to go to jail that same night if you had a gram of weed. After decriminalization, you can have a certain amount of weed on you, and they won't even take you to jail. They'll just give you a ticket.
Yeah.
So it's like it's still illegal, but not to the extent at which we want to pursue the law after you. So
Do they
like,
take it after they give you the ticket?
of course,
Man.
they always take it. They'll smash your bowl 100% of the time.
Man.
I've seen that so many fucking cops will just smash it for you in front of. Yeah, they'll do it for fun. Dude, if it was up to me, if I was a cop, and I'm talking about like super bad cop, like Seth Rogen out there, and some kid was like, "Oh, I just got this big ass bong in my fucking trunk," I'd grab that shit, I'd throw it up, and then I'd point at you, David, and then you'd be like, "I can't believe they made us cops," and I'm like, "I know, right?" And you'd be like, and then you blast the fucking bong out of the air. That's the way that I'd do it. But instead, these dudes just crush it on the curb. So, I mean, as decriminalization goes, It's just going to be a bunch of cops not arresting you for having a bunch of mushrooms on you. And then you go home. Because, I mean,
Mushroomless?
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to let you leave away with the thing they gave you a ticket for. Just like if you had anything illegal on you.
Just a little taste.
Just a little taste.
Just a little taste of the good life.
I think that where we're at right now is that we're on the path to getting legal mushrooms 7 to 8 years from now.
What? That far?
It's a process, man.
How long did it take for weed? From go to like
15
it took a
years.
while,
I mean,
right?
from the or 10.
Yeah, but
that's
the
10 years
internet's here now.
From,
so.
well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, 10 years from the moment that they decriminalized it, where you could have more and more and get less and less of a charge, to the point where it was a milestone to go full recreational. Full recreational in Colorado. When did that happen? Like 4 years ago?
Didn't that happen when Trump got elected? The same.
No, I think it was Obama years, son.
Was it
Oh yeah,
recreational
recreational
in California?
in Colorado, which I think was first.
Oh.
We can fact check this.
I don't know. I'm sorry. What do you think the benefits are from making it fully recreational? If we did,
I think
for
there's a lot
mushrooms?
of people that I knew in high school that were complete fucking dicks that could have maybe taken a couple fucking caps and thought a little bit more about why they treat
Really?
people like shit.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean, this is a little bit closer to Kevin's heart, but anyone who's in military exchange or any type of military confrontation that has post-traumatic stress syndrome, like there's clinical studies that show that if you came back, you have this like instant phobia of like this kind of thing that's like really killing you, driving you in all different types of directions. Acid trips or psychedelic trips in general. I don't want to like put it into perspective for just one thing or another. Those kind of things bring a lot of clarity to people.
Yeah, it kind of helps you tackle certain things. Like, people talk about bad trips and good trips and whatnot. I just think if you're someone who respects it, it's kind of, because I don't at all don't think it's just something, I'm just going to take and get fucked up. Nah, man. It's not that. It's not about that.
What about that time
you have
that
to
you
have
had
the
that?
mind for it, bro.
You like face your demons and shit?
Yeah.
Sometimes you do. Yeah.
Sometimes you come to some things in your life that you do not like talking about, that you feel like make you either like a weaker person or
Turn it down.
turn it down. And then you kind of have a
Oh,
Hey.
we got us a fight.
malo.
Fight.
Uh,
Sorry.
It's Are they gonna keep on fighting? No, papas.
Yes, papas. Yes.
No, pop. No.
See, pa.
Go chill on the papa now.
Go. Tell them to go to half.
He's like, do you want
go
me to
home.
pop out or do you not want me to
No,
pop out?
they go home because they want treats.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
So you're saying that you face your own demons.
Well, not necessarily all the time, but it's just.
Do you feel the same about like acid? Do you think like it should be recreational, or what do
yeah,
you think about
I
that?
do think that. I do think that to be recreational as well. But the only thing is that, so with mushrooms,
Here's the thing. In a controlled environment,
Either
you can
or.
use it. Like I said, it's something you have to respect, not something that you just take because you want to have a good time. You know?
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
So okay, so here's the thing with mushrooms, and this is like something that will always differentiate mushrooms from acid. With acid, you can take 2 or 3 hits, and then you can have your experience. It'll be yours. You'll come back from it. You'll know it was like, oh man, that was what it was, right? But you can also take 100 hits of acid. And lose your fucking marbles.
Wait,
I'm talking
could you
about
die from that?
No, you can't die necessarily, but you can lose
fuck up
touch
your
with
head.
reality.
You can just
It's like Inception when they go like too many levels deep and
yeah.
shit.
Oh, you lose your shit, and the next thing you know,
Oh
like
my
you're
God,
in a house with a knife, and then you're fucking chasing some dude with a knife, telling
That
you
can
you're gonna.
happen?
Yeah, of course you can, motherfucker. Like it's a.
Yeah, like I said, it's
fuck
all about
mothers as well?
It's
Huh?
what?
Like is that motherfucker? No, good.
No,
also make
it's all
your
about your
penis bigger, and everyone's like, "Whoa!"
It's like I didn't know he was carrying this hog around. No, but it kind of expands on your mental state. So if you're in a terrible state of mind and stuff like that,
It amplifies it?
It could be you go somewhere dark and you're like you just lose your shit.
So it's like Captain America when he took the thing. He's like, if you're good, you become great. If you're bad, you become
Malo.
Mal.
Sí. So I had to put this in perspective though, but if you take a bunch of mushrooms, you're just gonna throw up, man.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
it's like you can't just take a shitload of mushrooms and like be okay. You'll be like, because it's like essentially what it is like a controlled food poisoning. Like you do have visuals, you have like body, like you feel heat. Like I feel like it's like it's very. But if you take a shit ton of mushrooms, if you just think you're gonna mainline mushrooms, you're very mistaken. You're gonna throw up. Is what you're gonna do. So it's like. And I don't plan to be an expert in any of this shit, but like as those things go, as at eventually recreational level where you can go buy mushrooms from someone, the worst thing you're gonna have is people calling off, and also
Calling off.
like,
Yeah.
and
Especially acid, because acid will last like 14 hours, dude. It's insane.
yeah.
Did you guys ever hear about the experiments that they did? This is also a Radiolab episode, by the way. I don't know what it's called, but they did an experiment in like a college or something like that, and they would give these kids, I don't know, I'm paraphrasing, but basically they like give them acid.
LSD? They give them LSD, yeah.
But they would also humiliate them,
What?
and they recorded their reaction of like them being humiliated, and then they would play it back to them, and they would give them acid while they were watching it. And then one of these kids that was in that same experiment later grew up and became the Unabomber. Fun fact.
Really?
Like, yeah,
That's
something
fucking
like that.
crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, weird. I don't know.
No, that's not weird. I think that's 100%. That's what happens when you do that to a kid. And
Yeah, you humiliate them and then make them take that
and then
out.
they're
Fuck
like,
yes.
"Well, shit,
Amplify that.
we're making some good shit over here at the LSD factory." I think that's completely fucked. But as decriminalization goes, eventually you'll be able to go to a shop. And this might not even go that far. This might not even get past not getting super arrested for fucking having a bunch of shrooms on you. But this could go past, number one, to the point where you get caught with a bunch of shrooms in Colorado and you don't get in trouble. Because the only thing that happens is eventually they'll just make it so you shouldn't drive while taking shrooms.
Of course.
And you shouldn't. Right?
You shouldn't at all.
You should never drive when you're on shrooms.
Don't be handling any machine.
Any machinery. That's just the same way that you're not supposed to take like fucking anti-sleep medication and operate a forklift.
Yeah.
You shouldn't take shrooms to it. But you should be able to buy it. You should be able to go home. You should be able to take a bunch of shrooms and then hang out with the people that you like. I mean, arguably, some people like less and more people. And then you should be able to hang out with whoever you want and handle it. And it should be whatever it is. Same way at that same point, that's what the same thought they had about weed. Hey, this isn't going to kill anyone. Hey, just smoke it at your house, man. Just don't smoke it while you're driving. But now in full recreational, can they stop that in Colorado? I never looked that shit up. Can you smoke and drive?
No, you can't.
All right, so then
Yeah.
what the fuck's the point?
I feel like it would slow people down anyways. And not get them
I've never
reckless,
got crashed into anyone that was going too slow.
Exactly. How much further until we can just go on Amazon and fucking order mushrooms and weed from the moon and
We
shit?
need full recreational across all 50
Yeah.
or all
Like
48
across the
continuous.
like it has to be legal federally, and then you can order it on Amazon.
Or how many galaxies if they win the space race?
I think the Earth would have the dopest dope I've ever smoked on Earth.
Hands down?
Hands down, they have the dopest dope I've ever smoked.
And so, guys, yeah, that's the end of our show. Let us know what you guys want to talk about, or which segments you guys like on the show, and what we can focus on keeping on here. So that was episode 8. It should have been episode 9, but catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.